Why? And that I go on to say, I don't got time for the hate. I need more time in my day. I put the ice on my bay, yeah. She riding on me. I get my drip overseas. Niggas are hating on me, yeah.
How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Peace and blessings upon all my AkHis and all my sisters out there. I'm your host, AkHi. To my left,
Professor Nims, the pundit with the PhD in pugilism.
Talk to him. Nice, don't talk to him twice. So this past weekend, we had a lot of great fights, from Shakur looking like the future pound-for-pound king, to Josh Taylor versus Regrius, to my man Lupin and Robert Easter. I even went to New York, checked out my man and my broski, Khalid Tuwaiti. Shout out to Khalid Tuwaiti, Saddam Ali, and all the champions from Kome that I got to interview. And I was surrounded by just champions, so on Split Decision, I'm going to do what a champion does and look for the knockout against Professor Nim. Now, last episode 5, they said, I knocked you out, Professor Nim. How you feel? You recovered?
I'm going to go back to the comment. I saw a couple, though. I did, so, and don't get me wrong. I trust and value everybody's opinion. But I did want to, so let me get this out real quick.
He got some smoke. He got some smoke,
and
y'all.
It's not THC, any of y'all out there, narcs or something like that. This is CBD. Oh, yeah. So a lot of athletes using and stuff like that. It it helps and stuff. But
you're gonna need to take some of the pain away after I knocked you out with that CBD.
Actually, I just wanted to make sure that
I mean,
y'all know that
you want some smoke.
I want all the smoke. Goddamn, like Lola Chico, we want all the smoke.
On to the next topic. By the way, this
piece
is
of CBD.
Obviously, I gotta take a hit because I'm finna smoke, Professor Nim. Best believe that.
Well,
so
I was thinking, man, I was, they call me the pundit with the PhD in pugilism, but somebody was like, man, you need to change your name. Professor Nim, don't nobody what you talking about. So I'm like, should I be the body snatcher?
Nah,
I think or should I be the Grim Reaper?
I think you should be, because Professor Nim, the reason they say that, they saying you getting taken to the AkHi University, you should change it to Student Nim.
Student Nim.
Because you out here being my student on the show. But hold on.
I'm gonna be the Grim Reaper out here. I'm out here collecting bodies, baby.
We're finna go into your topic. Obviously, my man, Charlo.
Rabbit season.
Duck
season.
You know what I'm saying? Smoke season.
Duck season out here.
Yo, my man saying duck season. I brought a whole line because I'm finna talk about what the line got going on.
You got all on Canelo.
Because listen, I took you to my
really
university school. You know that, man. You better start capping.
So what's your boy reason for going ahead and starting duck season early? Man, I thought it was rabbit season or lions only. What is it? Lions only? Lion King, whatever.
Simba out here and shit. So yeah, put some respect on Simba name. But so Charlo, he came out on an interview with the Boxing Voice. Shout out to the Boxing Voice. And he was like, I don't know about Andrade, because Andrade, he's not a big fight. He's not willing to do a one fight with the zone, only if it's a big fight. Basically, for a Gennady Golovkin fight or a Canelo fight. Yeah, but basically he's saying the Andrade fight is not a big fight. Now, credit to the Boxing Voice, for being a realist and telling him, well, at the end of the day, Andrade got a belt. So that's a big fight. So why can't you do a one fight contract with them? And then he stated basically like, nah, he not the big name. Now, my thing is this.
Duck season.
My thing is this. Do you believe, like I said, I took him to the AkHi University last show. Everybody declared on episode 5, I won the debate, right?
Out.
That being said, my man dropped out. He like, man, fuck this shit. I got to surrender. You know what I mean? He threw the white flag on me. You know what I mean? You even wiped your nose because you were bleeding too much. You know that. So, that being said, do you agree that Canelo is ducking Charlo and Andrade?
Charlo and
you say is Charlo ducking Andrade for this move?
Charlo he's absolutely ducking. This is the definition of a duck.
If that's the case,
somebody who has a title.
If that's the case, is Canelo ducking Charlo and Andrade.
It's different. Like
Hold on, see, you
one is
contradicting yourself.
So
I'm just saying. See, I keep it real. They said I ain't gonna talk about this topic.
I thought.
Look, hold on.
I thought I was gonna answer.
Oh, hold on. You contradicting yourself. You don't even get a chance to speak right now. I gotta clarify this because everybody in the comment section, as soon as this video dropped, they came to my channel talking about, oh, AkHi, you ain't gonna talk about this. You're gonna avoid this topic, this and that. I'm over here talking about it, right? I'm over here talking about it. We finna talk about it.
It's called circular reasoning. That's you're trying to.
Hey, Professor Nim, you gonna get this work. So I asked you a question: is Andrade and Charlo getting
You asked me if Charlo was. So one thing I always
and
said.
You said no.
And I said everybody. I said everybody avoids Andrade. He's just a bad matchup. But at the time, when you can go and make history, which Canelo has an opportunity to do, and it's a big fight, you're not gonna. I said he's gonna let everybody else fight Andrade. Let all of this dust settle. You the cash cow.
Canelo been ducking Andrade and Charlo for 5 years now. He
was never in Charlo's weight division.
He was at 154.
Not at the same time. Not at the same time.
Yo, man, guys, Professor Nim done got knocked out so bad the last show he don't even remember.
When was the last time that
hold on.
that Canelo fought at 154?
Andrade, Canelo, and Charlo fought at 154 around the same time. As soon as Canelo moved up in weight, Charlo and Andrade moved up in weight. Canelo was a champion. Floyd Mayweather took him to school, right? Then he didn't hold a title. Andrade held the
I don't even think they were even pro then when he fought Mayweather.
I'm telling you facts. Andrade was the WBO champion. And Charlo won the IBF belt from somebody, right? And then he fought J. Rock Williams and all that. But prior to that, Canelo turned down a fight with Jermall Charlo. Not Jermall Charlo, Jermall Charlo. And because of that, Charlo left Golden Boy because they basically promised him a fight with Canelo, and they didn't oblige. So he was like, you know what? I got to dip because y'all didn't keep y'all word.
That's fact.
That's a fact. He ducked Jermall Charlo. He also ducked Jermall Charlo till this day because like Riddick Bowe, when he vacated the belt and threw it to the trash to duck a Lennox Lewis, Canelo did the same thing to Jermall Charlo when he was his mandatory to become the champion. We just talked about that with Lomachenko and Canelo prior to this topic in this segment. That being said, he ducked the Andrade fight too because when Andrade was the WBO champion, he avoided that fight. He acted like Andrade was never there. Keep in mind, Andrade was calling him a bitch while he was a champion. Andrade was a champion. Canelo was not a champion at the time. They fought at the same division. Andrade called him a bitch. He said, you don't got no cojones, all that, right? As soon as Andrade get stripped of the title because he had a problem with his promoter and the Smith won the title, guess what happened? Canelo Alvarez fight Smith. This ain't a coincidence. Canelo maneuvering and being strategic like a motherfucker. Like, we know what time
Charlo,
it is.
Charlo. So
okay,
one thing is that
the question.
Everybody,
if you want me to be honest, this is called split decision.
You asked me, is he ducking him? Right.
You then got caught contradicting yourself, saying that Charlo ducking Andrade, but you said that Canelo, who been ducking Andrade and Charlo for the past 5 years, you said that he not ducking him. What? It don't even make. Okay, if we're going by your logic, hold on. If you're going by your logic, then okay. If you're going by your logic, what Charlo basically is saying is, okay, Andrade could have fought my brother at 154. He didn't want to fight him because he didn't want to come to Showtime because he felt like he was going to get robbed and he wasn't getting paid enough money. So I'm not trying to go to DAZN for Andrade, who is a tough fight, but it's not a big name fight, and fight him there.
So now it's not a big name fight.
No, but I'm saying if we going, this is your logic. I'm going by your logic. I'm not going by my logic. This is your logic. This is Professor Nim speaking.
I've said nothing about Charlo in that regard.
I'm saying I'm speaking by your logic, how you stating that. So you saying Charlo, he could say basically, oh, if I go and fight Andrade and, I'm going to DAZN when I'm the bigger name. Charlo he been the main event for the past 3 fights and he been fighting nobody according to you, right?
Who?
So Charlo. So he been fighting unknown fighters.
At 160, he's fought nobody.
That's what I'm saying. And he been the main event. So that's how much
So
of a
he
star
can fight
he is.
somebody,
And
and
he
then
been
he
drawing-
might, and then,
look,
and then he
listen,
might earn
and he-
a
listen.
fight with Canelo.
Listen, he been the main event, fighting nobodies according to you, and he been drawing million views on Showtime and on Fox now or whatever. So if Charlo is capable of doing that on Showtime, so he's the biggest star than Andre. We all know that Charlo is bigger star than Andre. So why would Charlo? He's saying, why would I go to the zone to fight Andre, a guy not bigger than me? If he wants to fight me, come to my show. If I have to fight Canelo because he's a bigger star than me, I'm gonna go and fight him on his network because he's bigger star than me. But if I'm bigger than Andre, why do I gotta go to the zone? Why don't Andre come to me? Charlo could make that case, so you could say he's not a duck. But I'm saying this is by your logic. Canelo,
You must represent Charlo. What?
Look, it's lines.
Are you
only,
like?
but I ain't being biased and shit.
Are you his lawyer?
Huh?
You got some.
Man, Canelo calling your phone, man. Pick up real quick to receive that
All right.
check. But hey, I might have burning his check.
No, it's
Stop playing.
It's duck season. I thought it was rabbit season for the Lions.
You contradicted yourself.
Well, all right. So what I'm saying is that Charlo does not hold the cards like Canelo. He does that. He needs one quality win at 160.
J. Rock Williams.
At 150. I'm talking about that. We talking about middleweights right now. So that victory looks good now, but he hasn't fought one name. So this is why you fight
the
Andre.
big name's ducking
Andre
him.
Andre does not. Andre has a belt. This will be a unification bout, and this would easily be, if not your toughest competition ever, easily your toughest competition at 160.
So you saying he ducking?
Yeah, he ducking him.
So, but Canelo's not.
Canelo is about to go history.
He been ducking for the past 5 years. Make history versus the fighter that was one
What
punch.
have they done to really earn a fight with
You
Canelo?
You keep saying.
What have they done to earn a fight with Canelo?
What have Rock Fielding done to earn a fight with Canelo?
He was 168. He was somebody that didn't pose a challenge, and it was just
He got knocked out prior to that.
It was a showcase fight.
He got knocked out in the first round.
It was
prior
a showcase fight.
So okay, make a showcase out of Charlo if he's so sweet.
Listen,
So hold on.
The risk versus the reward, he can make that
ducking.
determination.
You basically saying he ducking in a nice way. That's what I'm saying. Hold on. First of all, you keep saying he making history with Kovalev. He been ducking Andre and Charlo for the past 5 years. Let's move on from that. Forget all of that. Kovalev was punched away removed from retirement versus a guy that only have 12 amateur fights and 18 pro bouts and never fought a top-level fighter, right?
Yeah.
And that was his last fight. Kovalev stated, if this dude beats me, I'm retiring. That dude was a punch away. That was a one punch away from knocking him out, or 2 punches away if he landed good, right?
Yeah.
So you talking about he over here making history, fighting a dude on the way out the door? Kovalev, this is not the crusher Kovalev. This is Canelo finna be the crusher. If he fighting Beterbiev, I'll be like, okay, at least it's a better matchup. But he fighting a washed-up version of Kovalev. Let's all be honest here. And like I said, he avoiding these guys. He ducked Charlo like Riddick Bowe ducked Lennox Lewis. Vacated the belt. Andre been ducking him since 154. Out of your own mouth, you say he ducked Jermall Charlo. Now, he done ducked 3 people. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Charlo called out Canelo Alvarez, called out Gennady Golovkin, called out Jacob. Keep in mind, these are the big names at the middleweight division, right? You saying he need a big win.
Jacobs.
Hold on. You said he need a big win, right?
He does.
How about if the big names are ducking him?
He can fight.
How about if the big
he
names
can fight
are ducking
Andrade and Danny Jacobs. Like I don't
How
see
about
those
if the
phones.
big names are ducking him?
No, he's going after these stars when he hasn't done anything yet. Of course, he is
a star too.
They just like
He's
to make
a star that got skill that will knock these stars out. So these stars don't want to fight him. He's a star too.
Canelo fought Jacobs. They saw on the blogs that Canelo easily had the best resume of any middleweight out there. Well, not the blogs, but on the comments. Canelo easily had the best of any middleweight out now. Canelo easily has the best resume. He can't fight everybody.
Who did he fight other than
Jacobs, Triple G?
That's it.
Cotto, Trout.
First of all, Trout's not middleweight. What are you talking about?
What I'm just saying is,
first of all, if you're gonna go, we went through his record, And the big fights, every time he stepped up, unlike Terrence Crawford, unlike Floyd, he always struggled versus the best. The fights almost split decision, and the judges on his side scoring every round for him. So he's in close fights. Even people thought Gennady Golovkin was a draw. Matter of fact, it was a draw the first time.
I thought he lost the first fight.
Okay, so
I thought he lost the first fight.
That's it right there. So I'm saying, you keep saying Charlo this, Charlo that. He's a star too. But I'm saying,
fight somebody that we know at middleweight.
I'm saying I want the Andre fight to happen. But by your own logic, if you saying this and that, then Andre need to come to Showtime because Charlo is the biggest star. Who is the biggest star, Charlo or Andre?
Charlo.
Okay,
Charlo,
so why is the biggest star need to go to
no,
the zone
one thing is like they haven't even got to the negotiation. They're just like, say that you want to fight and then find some way to make it happen.
No.
All these like what these called specious barriers are just these excuses
First
that you
of all,
put in the way.
that's not excuse. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to clarify here. Charlo, he stated, I'm willing to fight the big names, Canelo, Gennady Golovkin, Danny Jacob, and do one fight with the zone. However, with Andrade, he didn't say I'm not trying to fight Andrade. He basically saying I'm not willing to go to the zone to fight an Andrade. He said he willing to fight an Andrade on Showtime. So if that's the case, I'm saying since you out of your own mouth, you said he the bigger guy, right?
He's a bigger draw.
So just like Tank Davis and Tevin Farmer, remember? Tevin Farmer got offered $2 million to fight Tank Davis. And we all know Tank Davis is the biggest star, baby. So what Tevin Farmer do and Eddie Hearn? They said absolutely not. They want the big star, Tank Davis, to come to the zone. Why? Because Tevin Farmer is signed to the zone. He can't leave the zone. Andrade is signed to the zone. So he can't leave the zone. So Charlo is saying, I'm not willing to go to the zone and fight him because he's the biggest star.
Why don't you just get into this? Why don't you just what I'm saying? Like,
so how come Tank Davis doesn't fight Tevin Farmer at the zone?
I think they should fight.
I know they should fight, but it's not his fault. It's Tevin Farmer's fault for not taking the $2 million, the biggest purse of his life, not to fight Tank Davis and stay with the zone and believe in Eddie Hearn. Now Tevin Farmer got nobody to fight. When he could have had a mega fight and it was in his hands.
Sometimes it's just as easy as saying, I want to fight this guy. And then people can usually work it out.
He already said that. He already said I wanted to fight him. He just said he not willing to do a one fight with the zone and fight Andre because he the biggest star basically. And why would he do that? He only willing to do that versus a Gennady Golovkin and a Canelo Alvarez. You get what I'm saying?
What I'm saying, if he wants to fight these guys over there at the zone, fight you somebody who has a belt, make a name for yourself, and then you're going to get a little more leverage in the negotiations at that point.
Well, he about to fight Benavidez. He ain't going to get all the leverage in the world. He said he willing to fight Benavidez at 168. So Charlo ain't ducking no smoke. All I'm saying is it's still lion season. It's still smoke season. It's still strap season. He's just making
duck season.
It's a smart decision for Canelo Alvarez. It's duck season. We all know that. It's been duck season for the past 5 years. That being said,
like Chico, we want all the smoke.
On to the next topic. By the way, this
piece
is
of CBD.
Obviously, I got to take a hit because I'm finna smoke, Professor Nim. Best believe that.
Well, I was thinking, man, they call me the pundit with the PhD in pugilism, but somebody was like, man, you need to change your name. Professor Nims, don't nobody what you talking about. So I'm like, should I be the body snatcher?
Nah,
or should I be the Grim Reaper?
I think you should be, because Professor Nim, the reason they say that, they saying you can take it to the AkHi University. You should change it to Student Nim.
Student Nim.
Because you out here being my student on this show. Professor Nim, man.
Yes, sir.
So we stated earlier, like I said, Professor Nim, he might change his name to Student Nim because I keep taking him to the AkHi University. No. So that name fit him better.
Grim Reaper, I thought it was Grim Reaper because I'm catching these bodies.
Man, you caught your own body. You know what I'm saying? You buried your own self on your own grave, and you dig your own grave today. That being said, it's still strap season, still line season, lines only, all of that. Canelo season over there. That being said, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Check out Split Decision. Hosted and dropped every Monday. Now, this episode.
Make sure that you subscribe to the AkHi TV.
Yeah, and click on the notification bell to get notified every time we post to go live, because sometimes y'all gonna miss on the uploads, and y'all don't want to miss my content. Any last thoughts, Professor Nim?
No, just tune in. We appreciate all the comments, good and bad. Remember, we want all the smoke. We lighten up the CBD out here. Maybe we can get them to be a sponsor or something.
Yeah. Hey, we want
Right?
that. We want that. You know what I'm saying? We're dinero in Spanish. Is that how
Yes,
to
sir.
say it?
Dinero, yes, sir.
Dinero. I'm pretty sure you know, being on Canelo payroll and shit. So that being said, appreciate you, Professor Nim. Always great talking to you, man. My favorite moment of the week is when I go and take Professor Nim to my AkHi University, because keep in mind, I was his student. I would go to school.
Still is.
And man, Professor Nim, he would give me a hard time. I spend 10
gonna have
hours
to
on the
cut that
paper.
out, though.
Listen.
I don't want them knowing where I work at.
Hold on.
We gonna cut that.
Oh, we
part.
gonna cut.
We gonna
I'm
bleep that. We
part
gonna
out.
bleep that.
I'm gonna cut that part out. But you know, I'm over here. You know, I gotta spend like 10 hours to do a paper, and guess what, Professor Nim will do? Take off 10 points for no reason. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give him a hard time on this show, because he's my student on this show. This is the AkHi University. So appreciate it, Professor
Yes,
Nim.
sir.
Always great talking to you.
And the I go and say, I don't got time for the hate. I need more time in my day. I put the ice in my bay, yeah. You riding on me, I get my drip overseas. Niggas are hating on